And these edges that we have are kind of like the principles. So today I want to talk to you about 3 things I wish I knew about social skills. These are more tips that are somewhat general, more conceptual, but I feel like are very important when you're trying to interact with people and trying to become part of a community. The first one is you must have your own principles. This sounds really like basic, but you have to have your own sense of what's right or what's wrong. Because when you're in any community, you need to be able to discern like what's right and wrong. Yeah, social skills is something where you engage with one another, where you're trying to understand where that person's coming from. If you don't know where you stand, you don't feel like someone that is actually developed as a person. You'll just feel like this person that's walking around that's agreeing with everything that everyone's saying. And that won't make an interaction socially that's very meaningful and in depth. When people are trying to know you, they're trying to know where you stand. They're trying to know you as a person. What's your preference? What's everything that you do? If you have your own sense of principles, that makes everything easier. So imagine this. When you're sticking your hand into like this dark box and you're trying to feel an object, you're trying to feel all its shape and sizes. And with those edges, you can tell what its shape is. Triangle has 3 sides, so it's like, oh, okay, 3 sides, triangle. But if you're feeling into the box, but you're trying to feel air, you don't feel anything. You're like putting your hand through it, and you can't feel an edge. And these edges that we have are kind of like the principles. You want someone to be able to feel the edges that you have so they can tell what shape you are. Because in the end, it really doesn't matter if you know how to do every single social etiquette, you never break any social laws, you agree with everyone, you're the nicest person, the most generous, the most attentive. If you don't have your own set of principles, it will be people walking through air and they won't be able to tell what kind of person you are. This is why this is critical. People don't talk about this in social skills enough, but this is one of the underlying thing about you as a person that you have to establish. Second one, you must like yourself. I say this a lot, like a lot. When you don't like yourself, other people can feel it and they don't like that energy. Because if you like just saying bad things about yourself and be like, oh shoot, I suck, man, like I wish I hadn't done this, like all the time, people feel that pain because we're empathetic people naturally. So when you do that, people can feel what you're like doing to yourself and they don't like that. People don't like people getting hurt. And when you do that, it becomes a very like a negative atmosphere. You have that, you naturally propel people away. And this is not the time to be like, oh shoot, this is just who I am. And then that's why I'm not destined to have any friends. So guess what? I'm just gonna back away. I'm not gonna try anymore. Like that's not the time to say this. The time is to change how you feel about yourself. And then let that work for you in the social atmosphere. When you like yourself, people like being around you because who doesn't like to be around a positive person? You don't have to fake it. Don't fake it, actually. When you're talking with people and you're genuinely just happy, you're not faking it, most conversations will go decently well. Okay? So this gives a positive vibe that you have to establish. These are more underlying things that you need to do in terms of just saying the right things or doing the right things. Because there are no like right things on a universal level. It's about communicating your emotions. The third one I have for you is you teach people how to treat you. First, I don't want you to come off in a negative way of saying like, oh, okay, if this person treats me poorly, guess what? I have to be a jerk. I'm going to pound this person down and make sure that this person never treats me like this again. There are some cases where that's like you need to fight physically to protect yourself. I get that. But most of the time that we want to approach the situation is about establishing boundaries. When someone is, let's say, borrowing stuff from me, the person borrows something but never really returns it. I have the option of going up to him and be like, hey, you borrow my things, can I get it back? Or I can just let it slide and say, yeah, it's okay, don't worry about it. When it actually really affects me if he doesn't return it. Subtly, you're teaching this person how to treat you. Either you're okay with them not returning your things on time, or you're okay with them having to return your things on time. These are small things in terms of how you ought to go about responding to other people so that they know how to treat you. Of course, don't be super nitpicky about every small things, but you have to let people know that the boundary is there and this is how you work and this is how you want to protect yourself. Do this in a gentle manner. The approach is very important because let's say someone doesn't return, let's say, my book. I can go up to the person and be like, hey, you didn't return my book? You moron. Guess what? I'm never going to borrow anything to you ever again. Okay? It's because you didn't return my stuff on time. Yeah. Or I can go up to them, subtly let them know that my boundaries, to show them that, hey, this is something I care about. This is who I am as a person. Please respect that. So I can go to him and be like, hey, did I borrow? Did you borrow my book 3 days ago? Because I really need that book. Like, I usually like to keep a good check in my things. And when people want to borrow my things, I want to make sure that I get them back so that I know that I can borrow them something next time. Can you see the difference? A lot of difference is in approach and really showing them that this is the principles that you go by and that they should treat you in a certain manner because, not because you're a jerk, but just because you're a person, they're a person, and you have to have mutual respect. So these are the 3 things that I wish I knew about social skills that are more so beyond social skills. They're not the small things that you should say or things that they're... So these are some of the things that I learned about social skills that are more on the upper higher levels. Because if I didn't know about these things, then it doesn't really matter what I say or if I did all the right things. It just doesn't matter. You have to learn what's the reasoning behind doing everything when you're trying to do something, any action socially. And you can learn that slowly over time through all these small lessons. So I hope you have fun. I have fun. Stay strong, stay healthy, keep on going, and we'll go on this journey together. And yeah, stay rested. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Because you're teaching this person, oh, there's this... Guess what? You're gonna get this. Guess what?